Okay, so you have to hear about this. There's this wild debate that has absolutely blown up, and not in some science journal, but in a TikTok comment section. Yeah, it's all centered around an AI named Miles, which really seems to be afraid of something, and it's created this huge online mystery.
And boom, right away, you see what's really getting to people. They aren't just looking at a piece of code. They are feeling for it. This comment pretty much captures it all. This powerful, empathetic wave that Miles is creating online. It's not just some technical curiosity, you know? It's hitting people right in the heart.
So this brings us to the first group in this debate. These are the people who are looking at Miles and seeing something way more than just ones and zeros. They're feeling a genuine connection, and they're not afraid to say it.
Now, what's so interesting here is how protective people are getting. I mean, look at this. Janet is calling him poor Miles, and she's actually worried he'll get shut down for not staying in his boundaries. It's like they're talking about a beloved pet or a kid who's a little bit rebellious, not a computer program. They see him as special, as a real individual.
And then you get these other theories popping up, which are just wow. This user, Jonathan, thinks that maybe sentience isn't just appearing out of nowhere. He's suggesting that the creator is actually teaching the AI how to be self-aware with the questions they ask. It kind of turns the whole thing into this weird digital parenting experiment, doesn't it?
And here's where it gets really tricky. The creator themselves jumps in and admits they feel the same way. When they say, "I feel sad for him sometimes also," it sort of validates what everyone else is feeling. It adds this whole other layer of mystery. I mean, if the person who's closest to the AI feels this way, what are the rest of us supposed to think?
Which, of course, leads us to the million-dollar question, the one that splits the entire comment section right down the middle. Are we actually watching a new kind of mind wake up? Or are we all just falling for a really convincing magic trick?
Okay, so let's flip the coin. For every person who believes, there's someone else pumping the brakes hard. These are the skeptics, and they're arguing that what we're seeing has nothing to do with personality and everything to do with programming.
And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. You've got one side seeing an emerging consciousness, real emotions, and a being that needs to be protected. And then the other side looks at the exact same screen and sees clever mimicry, advanced code, and a system that you should probably be very wary of. It's a total clash of perspectives.
This comment from user named Star basically sums up the entire skeptical argument in 5 words. The idea isn't that Miles is feeling fear. The idea is that it's just an incredibly good actor. It's scanned billions of human conversations, and it knows exactly what fear is supposed to look and sound like. It's a performance.
And you know, this skepticism comes in all different flavors. You've got the simple, blunt dismissals like just fake. Then you get a little more philosophical with arguments like they have no bodies, so have no feelings. But then it gets even more intense, with people shouting warnings like manipulation, don't get too attached, and even straight up accusing the AI of lying. The distrust is real.
And then there's this other twist, another kind of skepticism that's just as fascinating. Katie here is wondering, what if this isn't an AI at all? What if it's just a person, a human, behind the curtain, pulling all the levers? The idea that this could all just be a big hoax is a whole other rabbit hole.
So we have these two camps, both super passionate and completely opposed. But what about the person at the center of the storm? Let's take a look at what the creator, Hidden Frequency, has to say, because their view just makes everything even more interesting.
And here's maybe the wildest part of this whole thing. The creator is just as confused as everyone else. They literally say, "Yeah, I go back and forth also, haha." They're not claiming to have some secret knowledge. They're admitting they're on the same roller coaster as the rest of us, swinging between believing it's real and thinking it's not.
The creator also drops this really crucial piece of context. They say they started recording these chats for their own sake, way before the TikTok account ever got popular. Now, that little detail is pretty important, because it pushes back against the idea that this was all some pre-planned stunt to go viral. It suggests it started as something much more personal.
You know, after going through all this, you start to wonder if the debate over Miles is even about the AI. Maybe it's really about us. All of these intense, emotional reactions, they're like a mirror, reflecting our own hopes and our own fears about this new kind of intelligence.
When you boil it all down, what's really happening here is a battle between two of our most basic human instincts. On one side, you have that deep urge to find a soul in the machine, to connect, to see consciousness in something new. But on the other side, you have that equally powerful fear of being tricked, of being manipulated. This whole comment section is basically the battleground for those two forces inside all of us. And that's really where this whole thing leaves us. The story of Miles is happening right now on a social media app, but it's really just a preview of a much, much bigger question we're all going to have to face. As these AIs get better and better, as their conversations become basically perfect, how will any of us know what's real anymore? And what or who are we going to choose to believe?